Okay. So we are moving forward the principles. The third principle is the manual contact. We talked about it yesterday. We talked about how even touching the patient just with your hands will give stimulation to the patient. Yes, just by touching, giving sensory inputs. Yes, we have superficial sensations. Whenever you touch yourself, you know that where exactly you are being touched. Yes, and depending on that, you get excitation or inhibition. The muscles start to act accordingly. So for that, the basic principle is manual contact. Where you will place your hands will decide what is the response of the patient. જ્યાં પણ તમે હાથ મૂકશો એના ઉપરથી response નક્કી થશે. Response of muscles. Yes, we are using PNF to do what? We are wanting to initiate or improve the neuromuscular function, neuromuscular facilitation. Yes, through the sense of proprioception or other sensory inputs. So first effect, it stimulates the muscle. Whenever you touch, see for example, I'm touching over the wrist, or you can say over the hand on the dorsal aspect. So here directly after the touching, the extensor group of muscles will get activated. Yes, just by my touch. So it stimulates the muscle. It stimulates the synergic muscle to reinforce the movement. Say for example, the wrist muscles, intrinsic muscles of the hand are not enough nathi. So synergistic muscles start coming into action and they will get excited at the same time. Perform trunk stabilization and directly helps the limb motion. Yes, whenever you are touching the part, અહીંયા હું touch કરીને ask the patient to do extension of wrist and finger simultaneously. If that is done, it means other parts of the body, say for example the trunk, say for example the shoulder, the elbow, જ્યાં touch input નથી, sensory input નથી, ત્યાં response નહીં આવે. It will be stabilized. Yes, so it will give a sense that you are stimulating only a particular part. એક part જ આપણે stimulate કરી છે અને rest of the portion, rest of the body will be completely stabilized. It prevents confusion. Now you ask the patient to do wrist extension, they don't understand. So whenever you touch the patient, they know which direction they have to put the force in. Yes, so it prevents confusion. Patient confused nahi થાય કે કયા direction માં force લગાડવાનો છે. Yes, so that is importance of manual contact. Manual contact simultaneously will start to initiate response from alpha motor neuron. Yes, so you can see from the diagram, whenever you're touching the skin, yes, whenever you touch the skin directly, the superficial portion, you do not have to give pressure. Yes, we are just asking the patient, or we are just giving superficial sensations to the patient. Yes, so you can see when we are touching the skin, it gives input to the efferent fibers, efferent fibers, and moves to interneuron. Interneuron located in the spinal cord. This interneuron interprets this sensory input and gives a motor response to muscle, that is through efferent pathway. Yes, so it will get stimulated, it will give response through alpha motor neuron and contract the muscle. So directly from the skin, we are initiating contraction of the muscle. So that is importance of manual contact. Skin ne touch કરીને એમાંથી inputs જશે spinal cord માં. In spinal cord, interneuron will interpret this and give response in the form of contraction of muscle through alpha motor neuron. Yes, this is manual contact. So it will cause contraction of the muscle. Four vital features of the grasp or the grasp that you are going to use. How to touch the patient, that is important. Now we discuss કે આપણે, say for example, we want to stimulate the biceps muscle. તો biceps muscle ને stimulate કરવા માટે કયા type નો grasp use કરવાનો અને ક્યાં હાથ મૂકવાનો. Yes, so first, for stretching, the correct grip enables the therapist to stretch all the components of the pattern simultaneously. Now to demonstrate this, okay, say for example, I want to correct elbow flexion and wrist flexion simultaneously. Yes, so one of my hand, my biceps ne stretch કરવું હોય તો I have to stabilize the shoulder joint. Yes, that will be in the supine line. If the patient is in supine line, automatically shoulder will be stabilized. Now I have to move the elbow into extension. મારે stretch કરવું છે. Yes, so action of biceps is flexion of elbow. I want to stretch, so એનું opposite extension of elbow હું કરીશ. Yes, so say for example this is, and simultaneously I also want to stimulate or I want to stretch the wrist flexors. So what will I do? I will move the hand into extension. So my grasp will be as such, directly બંને એક સાથે હું આપી શકું. So one hand will be kept at the proximal, or you can say mid portion of the arm, forearm, and after that other hand will be kept at the fingers. Yes, whenever I want to stretch, both my hands will provide pressure. Yes, એટલે હાથ શું કરશે? Will go into extension as well as will go other hand. One hand will go for elbow extension and other hand will go for wrist and finger extensions. So simultaneously, biceps as well as the flexors of the wrist simultaneously will be stretched. Yes. So your grasp must be as such કે તમારે કોઈ pattern માં આપવું છે. Say for example, this pattern we already discussed. Yes, yesterday in the lecture we had discussed this. So whenever you want to give stretching to the whole pattern, તમારા બંને હાથ એ રીતે હોવા જોઈએ કે આખી પેટર્ન ને તમે એક સાથે stretch કરી શકો. So say for example, here it is and I'm moving it till here. So this is the starting position, say for example, and I want to stretch the same thing. આ opposite જાય છે એમાં વચ્ચે મારે stretching apply કરવું છે. કઈ રીતે આપવાનું? One hand will be here at the distal region of the fingers that will stretch the muscles of the wrist and the fingers, and the other hand will be at the elbow joint so that I can control the elbow motion as well as the shoulder motion. Yes. Practically, of course, we are going to demonstrate different techniques. After this, we are going to discuss about patterns and then will be the techniques. So we will discussing what are the techniques and what are the patterns. So જ્યારે આપણે patterns માં આવશું ત્યારે પણ હું તમને demonstrate કરીશ on a live model so that it will be much easier for you to understand. But for now, understand stretching. If you want to stretch any group of muscle or any pattern of PNF, your hand should be as such, your grasp should be as such, maximum amount of pattern should be stretched at the same time. Yes, એ રીતે જ grasp આપવાનું છે. Second, extroception. The grasp must be such that it gives sensory stimulation to the skin in the direction of the movement. There are two types of sensory inputs you can provide: interoception and extroception. Interoception means simultaneously you are giving yourself some input. Yes, say for example, I am doing some movement and I want to initiate more amount of that movement. So that is termed as interoception. Extroception means બહારથી કોઈ sensory input આપવું, that is extroception. Extro means external. Yes, so extroception is a sensation provided outside the normal body. Yes, so that is extroception. So your extroception should be as such. આપણે જે વાત કરી કે હાથ એ જ રીતે રાખવાનો જ્યાં તમારે મસલ રિસ્પોન્સ જોઈએ છે. હું ફ્લેક્સર ઉપર રાખીને પેશન્ટને કહું કે એક્સટેન્શન કરો, it is wrong. Patient will get confused. Yes, which was one of the important features of manual contact. We should not let the patient confused. That is why we are using the manual contact. The patient must be given such a sensory stimuli to the skin in the direction of the movement. So this is the direction of the movement. I should be providing it in same direction. Then only the patient will get clear idea what is the direction of the movement. Yes. So two important. Third, resistance. The grasp must be such that the therapist is able to exert maximum resistance throughout the full range of motion. Same example. If I want to provide resistance, પહેલા તો પેશન્ટને ખબર નથી પડતી, પેશન્ટ્સના મસલ વીક છે, તો at that time I am providing my hand sensory input through muscle contraction થાય છે. યસ, એટલે પેશન્ટને ખબર પડે છે આ ડિરેક્શનમાં મારે મૂવમેન્ટ કરવાનું છે. Wrist extension with finger extension. Now, when the patient has enough amount of strength, at that time I will provide resistance also. Why do we provide resistance? To improve the strength of the muscle, to improve the contractibility of the muscle. Yes. So for that reason, I will provide strength with the same grasp. પણ grasp એવું હોવું જોઈએ કે આખા ડિરેક્શનમાં or આખા મૂવમેન્ટમાં that can provide resistance. So હું અહીંયા રાખીશ તો fingers are not being stretched or being resisted. Yes. So અહીંયા રાખશું the fingers can move anyhow. Yes, they are not bound to move into extension. So I will keep my hand here and then I'll ask the patient to do. So I am resisting the wrist as well as the fingers. Both are simultaneously resisted. Yes, so your grasp should be as such. આખી મૂવમેન્ટ और આખી પેટર્ન ને એક સાથે તમે રેઝિસ્ટ કરી શકો. Fourth, traction or approximation. Okay, can someone tell me what is traction? What is traction?
Longitudinal pull.
Yes, you can unmute yourself or write in the chat box. That's fine. Traction એટલે શું? Longitudinal pull. Very true. It is, you can say, a pull exerted to move both the articulating surfaces apart. એક joint હોય, say for example shoulder joint, and we want to move it apart. Yes, so that is termed as traction. Approximation is complete opposite. We try to push the articulating surfaces near each other as much as possible. જેટલું બને એટલું. એને નજીક લઈ આવું, that is approximation. Yes, so traction is pulling apart of articulating surfaces of a joint, and approximation is moving the articulating surfaces of a joint near each other. Yes, so remember these terms. So for that also you need grasp. હવે you want to provide approximation. Proprioception, જે આપણે સેન્સની વાત કરી કે તમે હું હમણાં બેઠો છું, મારા સર્વાઇકલ વર્ટિબ્રા કઈ પોઝિશનમાં છે, થોરેસિક વર્ટિબ્રા કઈ પોઝિશનમાં છે, શોલ્ડર કઈ પોઝિશનમાં છે, એ બધું જ મારા બ્રેનને સેન્સરી ઇનપુટ થ્રુ મળે છે. યસ, માય બ્રેન ઇઝ અવેર ઓફ ઓલ ધ પોઝિશન ઓફ માય જોઈન્ટ, ધેટ ઇઝ ટર્મ્ડ એઝ પ્રોપ્રિયોસેપ્શન. હું કોઈ મૂવમેન્ટ કરું છું, મારું ફિસ્ટ બનાવું છું, ફિંગર ફ્લેક્શન કરું છું, એ પણ પેશન્ટ બ્રેનને ખબર છે. શું કામ? ઇટ ઇઝ ધ સેન્સ ઓફ પ્રોપ્રિયોસેપ્શન. યસ, નાઉ પ્રોપ્રિયોસેપ્શન ઇઝ અ સેન્સ. એની માટે સ્પેશિયલ રિસેપ્ટર્સ હોય. યસ, વિચ આર સેન્સર્સ યુ કેન સે. કોઈ પણ સેન્સર હોય એનું કામ શું હોય કે એ સેન્સને વધારે ઓર એ સેન્સને એબ્ઝોર્બ કરે. For example, nociceptors. Nociceptors are present in the skin. ક્યાંય પણ હું પિંચ કરું તો that gives me pain. So nociceptors are sensors or you can say receptors. Yes, એના લીધે પેન મને સેન્સ થાય છે. સેમ થિંગ proprioception, જો સેન્સ કરવું હોય એની માટે હોય proprioceptors. These are special receptors which sense proprioception. Yes, makes this thing very clear. And proprioceptors, which are the sensors, they are present in the joint surface. Yes, they are present in the capsule, they are present in the articulating surfaces. એ બધા જ ત્યાં હશે. There are 4 types of proprioceptors. No need to go into detail, but they are present within the joint. તો આપણે ટ્રેક્શન કરીએ અને એપ્રોક્સિમેશન કરીએ, બંનેમાં proprioceptors either get excited or inhibited. તમે નજીક લઈ આવશો articulating surfaces, that is articulation approximation કરશો, at that time proprioceptors will get stimulated. Stimulate થશે તો પેશન્ટને વધારે ખબર પડશે in which position the joint is. And if you are moving it apart, you are providing traction. At that time the proprioceptors will get inhibited. The pressure gives them sense. પ્રેશર તમે કાઢી નાખો, આર્ટિક્યુલેટિંગ સર્ફેસીસ જુદા કરી નાખો તો proprioception sense ઓછું થઈ જાય. Yes, so mainly we try to use as much as possible approximation, because in patients where we are going to apply PNF, specifically neurological conditions, there the patient will have decreased amount of proprioception. To increase it, we have to provide approximation as much as possible nearby, અને એનાથી proprioceptors જે છે articulating surface ઉપર, they will be stimulated and proprioception will be sent to the brain. So the patient will be able or will be aware of the joint position and joint movement. Yes, so 4 important things. Yes, the first we talked about stretching. So your manual contact should be as such that you can provide stretching simultaneously to the whole range or whole pattern. Second, exteroception, your hand should be placed as such so that the direction of the movement is clear to the patient. The third thing that we learned about is resistance. So whenever you want to provide resistance to the whole limb or the whole pattern, simultaneously your grasp should be as such that it can provide resistance to the whole pattern simultaneously at the same time. You do not have to change the position of your hand when you are providing resistance. And fourth, traction and approximation. Traction is pulling apart, approximation is moving into or moving articulating surface to each other. Yes, so these are the 4 important features of manual contact. This is why manual contact is very important. The first thing when you are going to touch the patient, જ્યારે પણ તમે ટ્રીટમેન્ટ આપશો પેશન્ટને અને you will try to touch the patient, ત્યારથી તમારી ટ્રીટમેન્ટ સ્ટાર્ટ થઈ જશે. Before giving any commands also your treatment start. Why? Because you are using the principle of manual contact. Lumbrical grasp is used by the therapist to control the movement and resist the rotation. Pressure comes from the flexion at MCP joint. Therapist finger confirm for the body part. Does not cause pain due to squeezing, putting too much pressure on the body part. Lumbrical grasps. Yes, lumbricals. These are the muscles that cause this movement. Flexion at MCP, extension at IP joints. Yes, so this will be the grasp that you will be using mainly, specifically for applying PNF. Whenever you want to resist, whenever you want to stretch, whenever you want to give manual contact, this will be the grasp. આ જ રીતે grasp હોવો જોઈએ. Yes, MCP flexion and IP joint extension. Yes, and the thumb will be this way. So you can contour to any part. કોઈ પણ part હોય બોડીનો આરામથી તમે grasp કરી શકો. Say for example my arm, I can grasp it this way. Yes, say for example wrist, I can grasp it this way. Yes, Say for example fingers, I can grasp it this way. Only the space between the thumb and the fingers will reduce. Otherwise, you can grasp biggest part of the body also. You can apply it over the thigh region also easily. Yes, thigh, which is the most broad part. So the same thing, it should be in lumbrical grasp. The pressure comes from the flexion at MCP joints. Yes, maximum pressure જે તમે apply કરવાના છો providing resistance or stretching, that will come from this MCP joints. Yes, so whenever you are trying to hold it this way and you want to apply pressure, ask the patient to do extension. જેટલું થાય extension, resistance pressure will come from MCP joints. Yes, and you will apply the pressure. Ask the patient to perform. That is the first thing. Also, therapist finger conform to the body part. Yes, so as we talked about, કોઈ પણ body part easily આપણે આનાથી grasp કરી શકીએ through lumbrical grasp, and should not cause pain. We have to hold it. Yes, આપણે ખાલી hold કરવાનું, sensory stimulation અંદર આપવાના છે. We do not have to pressure it out. Yes, એટલું pressure નથી દેવાનું કે patient ને pain feel થવા માટે, or patient complains that he is not comfortable. You have to only grasp it and provide appropriate resistance through it, nothing else. Yes, so three important things: always use lumbrical grasp. The main force will come from MCP joint, and most important, do not apply too much pressure. You just have to support the part and give sensory stimulation, nothing else. After this comes body position and body mechanics, utmost important. Yes, therapist body should be in line of the motion. Say for example, this is the motion that I want to resist. આ motion મારે resist કરવું છે. I am normal individual, મારે normal individual ને resistance આપવું છે. So where should I stand? Or if I am lying supine lying, I have to stand in walk standing position in the direction of the movement. Yes, so consider me lying in the supine line and I am moving my hand this way. Yes, so the therapist will be standing on this side facing me. Yes, therapist મારી સામે ઊભો હશે in walk standing position. Consider me in supine line. Yes, સામે ઊભા હશે, and when I am doing this movement, he will not be able to resist if he is standing opposite to me or on the opposite side. આ side ઊભા હશે તો એને આખું turn થવું પડશે. Yes, if he wants to resist, he'll have to turn completely. That is not feasible. As a physical therapist, we first have to look at our mechanics. આપણે આપણા બોડીનું ધ્યાન રાખશું, આપણી એનર્જી એક્સપેન્ડિચર વધારે ના થાય એ ધ્યાન રાખવાનું. Why? Because we are not going to treat one patient per day. We are going to see multiple patients per day. Yes, and providing PNF requires strength. So when you are requiring strength, you have to see minimal amount of body change or body mechanics that you can use, so that the effective treatment is also provided, and with that you are also conserving your energy. Yes, so when you are resisting this, one hand, as we already talked about, will be at the fingers. Yes, that will resist the wrist and the finger simultaneously. Other hand will be here at the posterior aspect of the arm. Now consider a therapist standing here. His hand is over here, and he will be able to easily achieve the full range of motion. If I am in supine line, therapist is standing right on the side of me. He will be able to resist both sides, both the whole pattern with both his hands. Okay, so that is much more easier. So the first thing, it should be in line of the motion. If I am supposed to do a motion, say for example a patient is lying here on the supine line, let me just stand. If the patient is lying supine line and I have to resist the motion, my hands will be as such. I do not have to move. My legs are stable. I'm standing in walk standing position. I'm standing in walk standing position. You can see I'm standing right in the walk standing position. Yes, and after that I do not have to move. I have to just move my upper body. For lower body, I don't have to move. Yes, upper body, that is from trunk and hip, there will be motion, but my foot are completely stabilized on the floor. So if I am resisting the motion, I'll have to just do this, and I can move in the direction of the motion. Yes, patient will be doing this motion in the supine line position, so I have to move it that way only. So I am in the direction of the movement. Shoulder and pelvis face the direction of the motion. Yes, so as you can see, if I was standing, my shoulder are in the direction of the movement, my pelvis in the direction of the movement. Yes, so whenever I am trying to move, I do not have to apply over pressure. If I am standing opposite side and I have to do this, I have to turn completely and then try to do it. Yes, so that is not visible. You are spending your extra energies. Third, therapist stands in walk standing position. As I already described, walk standing position should be used. The resistance comes from the therapist's body while the hands and arms are comparatively relaxed. So whenever I'm providing the resistance, in same thing, as we have talked about in mobilization also, the force comes from the body, from the truncal muscles, which are strong muscles. We do not have to provide through the shoulder or the elbows. Yes. So the whole body is moving, and through that I can provide easy resistance. So this is body position and body mechanics. Next comes verbal commands. Yes, verbal commands. Say for example, right now I am talking smoothly. Yes, that means I am not asking you to perform something. But if I'm angry or if I want you to perform, say for example, if you are in the class, you are not being attentive, I'll shout at you. My tone of the voice increases. Yes, same thing. That leads to what? Okay, stand up immediately. Yes, if I'm increasing my tone and asking you to stand up immediately, what will you do? You will immediately stand up. Your muscular response will be immediate. Compared to what if I say, okay, stand up. Yes, so it will be comparatively slower. Yes, the pitch and the tone of the voice decides the muscle response. So whenever you want to stimulate some muscle, whenever you want more response, you increase your voice level. Yes, Karo, you have to do this, you have to do this, elbow flexion, more flexion, more flexion, more flexion, and you keep shouting. Not in the sense of shouting, but your voice increases. Yes, and if you want to inhibit some response, you are seeing that extra muscular work is being happening. That is, say for example, you are asking the patient to do elbow flexion by keeping the shoulder into this amount of flexion only, shoulder flexion and abduction. But during performing this, the patient is able to do this. Yes, patient is doing this. That is, shoulder ઉપર extra movement થાય છે. તો આપણે ઇનહિબિટ કરવાનું છે. ઇનહિબિટ કરવા માટે you have to give soothing commands. Yes, if I slowly and steadily decrease my voice, you all will sleep now. I will know why, because my voice is soothing now. Yes, it is inhibiting. So whenever I want your attention, whenever I want your response, I'll shout, I'll increase my voice level. But whenever I want to comfort you that you are making too much noise, or I want to give you response that is inhibiting type, I will lower my tone. Yes, so that is the same thing. Patient ને આપણે response જોઈએ છે, તો response લેવા માટે we will increase the voice tone, and opposite, if you want to inhibit something, we will decrease the voice tone. Yes, tell the patient what to do and when to do. And first and important thing, you have to always give commands and try to demonstrate. Patient ને એકવાર demonstrate કરવાનું કે this is wrist extension. You know anatomy, I know anatomy. No patient will know the anatomy as far as we are concerned in India. Yes, so you have to tell them which motion they are supposed to do. You have to demonstrate on yourself and probably on the patient also. તમારે કરીને દેખાડવાનું કે this is what you have to do. Then take the patient hand and show him this is what you have to do. Then you ask the patient to do. Yes, so then you provide the commands. Instruction needs to be clear, concise, without the use of unnecessary words. Yes, you have to do this. This is the only command. You have to do wrist extension. You have to move the wrist into backward position. That is the only command. Do not add extra things. Yes, on the right side, this way, do only this, not other things. No need to add extra commands. Yes, if the patient is doing wrong while performing, you do command. But if the patient is starting the motion, give only the command that what he is supposed to do and not what he is not supposed to do. જે કરવાનું છે એ જ કહેવાનું, શું નથી કરવાનું એ ત્યારે સ્ટાર્ટિંગમાં નહીં કહેવાનું. જો ખોટું થતું હોય તો વચ્ચે પેશન્ટને આપણે સ્ટોપ કરીને એને આપણે કરેક્ટ કરી શકીએ. May be combined with passive movement to teach the patient the desired motion. As we talk, first you will demonstrate on yourself, then we will demonstrate on patient, and then we'll ask the patient to do something. Yes, so we can passively also show the patient this is how it is supposed to be done first. The timing of the command is very important. Now, when we are going to see the patterns of the PNF, yes, say for example this pattern. Yes, so this pattern, are ek પછી એક બધું કરાવું છે. Say for example, I want to start with wrist and finger flexion. So I'll ask the patient to do finger flexion, wrist flexion. Then I'll ask the patient to do elbow flexion, move the hand into extension, adduction, and internal rotation. Yes. So one by one, હું commands આપું છું એના પ્રમાણે કરશે. So I'll command the patient, tighten your fist, flex your wrist, flex your elbow, move your shoulder down towards opposite side pelvis. Yes, so this is the command. Opposite. If I'm starting from this position, open your wrist, open your fist, extend your wrist, extend your elbow, move the hand on the upper side. Yes, so this is the command that the patient has to follow. One by one command you will be giving. અને સાથે તમારો મેન્યુઅલ કોન્ટેક્ટ હશે, you will be providing resistance. જ્યારે રેઝિસ્ટન્સ પ્રોવાઈડ કરો છો એક પછી એક તમારે મોશન પેશન્ટને કહેવાનું. Yes, so that they'll be performing in the sequence that you want and not the whole movement together. Yes. The volume with which one command is given affects the strength of the resulting muscle contraction. Volume, yes, pitch, કેટલા જોરથી or કેટલું ધીમે તમે કહો છો પેશન્ટને, that depends or that will define the motor response that the patient will give you. Louder command when strong muscle contraction is required. Yes, say for example the patient is not able to do wrist extension, so you want to stimulate that. So what will you do? You have to perform wrist extension more. You will have to increase the command. Yes, you have to be alert. You have to tell the patient simultaneously what is to be done, what is not supposed to be done. Yes, જ્યારે કરે છે patient ત્યારે એને correct કરવાનું in the voice that is appropriate for that part. Stimulate કરવું હોય louder voice, calm કરવું હોય inhibitory voice, that is low pitch voice. Softer and calmer tone when the goal is relaxation and relief of pain. So if the patient is doing something that you are not wishing to do or the patient is feeling pain, you will ask the patient to relax completely, and that will be in soothing position. Yes, you might have gone through the yoga session, you might have heard people doing yoga, and at that time they always try to relax. Whenever it is about relaxation, the commands are always soothing. Yes, aankh band karo, relax your body. Yes, they can never go high pitch, relax your body. They cannot give you such commands. Why? Because it is contradicting. You are stimulating the muscles and asking them to relax. It is not possible. Yes, so your voice tone or volume will define the resultant response that you are doing for the patient. The command is divided into three parts. First, preparation, second, action, and third, correction. Preparation means what you are supposed to do. Yes, so you should be or you should command that the patient, are you ready for doing this? Yes, પહેલા તમે તમારા ઉપર ડેમોન્સ્ટ્રેટ કરશો, પેશન્ટ ઉપર ડેમોન્સ્ટ્રેટ કરવાનું, and then you ask, are you ready? Once they are, give action command. Now pull your leg up and in, or in our case, pull your hand down towards the opposite pelvis. Yes, આ એક આપણે જે પેટર્ન લર્ન કરી. Yes, the same thing you will ask the patient to do. That is the command that you will give the patient. Bring your hand down towards the opposite side pelvis, so they will understand. Yes, so that is the action command. હવે વચ્ચે કંઈ ખોટું થાય છે, that means it is a correction command. That means tell the patient what to correct and modify the action. Keep doing it. Keep your fist closed. Keep your wrist flexed. Keep your elbow flexed. જે પણ ખોટું થતું હોય એને correct કરવા માટે પાછા commands આપવાના. Yes, so that is more about third, that is correction command. First, preparatory, second, action, and third, corrective commands. Name itself suggests, so no need to explain in detail. Okay, last we'll discuss is vision. Yes, you have to, or the patient has to continuously monitor and see what is going on. Yes, એને દેખાવું જોઈએ કઈ ડિરેક્શનમાં એક્શન થાય છે. Proprioception એક એવી સેન્સ છે, consider an example. You don't have proprioceptory sense. તમારે proprioception sense નથી. You don't know when your fist is closing and opening. તમને એ brain sense નથી કરી શકતું. That means કે જ્યારે fist બંધ કરો છો, muscle action normal છે, પણ તમને ખબર નથી પડતી fist બંધ થઈ ગઈ કે નહીં. So say for example I'm closing my eyes and doing this. Right now my brain is aware કે fist બંધ છે કે open છે. Why? Because I have proprioception. But if the patient does not have proprioception, then what? Then vision will compensate for it. Yes, vision compensate કરશે અને proprioception વધારશે. એટલે કે you ask the patient to close the fist and look at the fist. It is closed. તો patient ના brain ને ખબર પડશે through the eyes that the fist is closed. Yes, and when it is open, it will sense it is open. So proprioceptive sense એનાથી વધશે. It will increase the proprioceptive sense. Vision is compensating and improving proprioception by telling the patient directly through the vision if the joint position is 1 or 2, closed or open, whatever the position is. The feedback from visual sensory system can promote a more powerful muscle contraction. Yes, હવે fist બંધ છે કે open ખબર જ નથી પડતી, તો હું patient ને કહું કે બંધ કરો, બંધ કરો, બંધ કરો, હજી વધારે કરો, હજી વધારે કરો. They will not understand. Why? Because they do not know કે end range ઉપર પહોંચી ગયા છે કે નહીં. Yes, so vision will give them feedback કે હજી બંધ થશે, હજી જોર થશે મારાથી. Yes, so that is the visual feedback that the patient gets. Helps the patient to control and correct his position in the motion. Of course, patient ને ખબર પડશે કે આ આટલું જ થાય છે, હજી મારે બંધ કરવાની છે fist. So the patient will try to do it more. Yes, so it will correct also the contraction of the movement. Moving the eyes will influence both the head and body motions. Also, whenever you are moving, say for example this motion, yes, now if I have to look at the whole motion, I have to move my whole head and look at the whole motion. Yes, I have to look at the whole motion. So for that I have to move my head and eyes. So head and eyes નું coordination પણ increase થશે. Coordination is nothing but purposeful smooth movements. Yes, કોઈ પણ movement કોઈ purpose થી કરવું અને without any error, that is coordination. Yes, આઈ કોન્ટેક્ટ બિટવીન ધ પેશન્ટ એન્ડ થેરાપિસ્ટ પ્રોવાઇડ્સ અ મોડ ઓફ કમ્યુનિકેશન. આ તો પેશન્ટ્સની વાત થઈ કે પેશન્ટને મૂવમેન્ટ જોવાની, પેશન્ટને જોવાનું કેટલું કોન્ટ્રેક્શન થાય છે, ફીડબેક લેવાનું, બ્રેનને સ્ટિમ્યુલેટ કરવાનું, પ્રોપ્રિસેપ્શન ઇન્ક્રીઝ કરવાનું. થેરાપિસ્ટનું કામ છે કે વિઝ્યુઅલ કોન્ટેક્ટ પેશન્ટ ભેગું બનાવી રાખીએ. whenever you are giving commands, જ્યારે પણ તમે પેશન્ટને કમાન્ડ્સ આપશો, at that time it is utmost important that you say it in looking in the eyes of the patient. Why? First thing, it builds up confidence. The patient has confidence in your treatment. And second important thing, patient gains motivation through the visual contact. And a motivation મળશે that the therapist is dedicated to him, and there will be good you can say outcome from this treatment. Yes, so two important functions. First is confidence in the patient, and second is the motivation. Both these are important for a better outcome of the patient. So આપણે જ્યારે પ્રોવાઈડ કરતા હોય movement અને કમાન્ડ આપવાના હોય, પ્રિપેરેટરી કમાન્ડ સ્પેસિફિકલી આપણે દેખાડતા હોય પહેલા, at that time visual contact is a must with the patient. Yes, utmost important. It is not just applicable for PNF, it is applicable for all the treatments. May that be passive movement, may that be mobilization, stretching, electrotherapy, everything. Whenever you are starting a treatment or talking to the patient, have a visual contact. Eye to eye contact should be there. Yes, why? It brings confidence that the patient is going to do what you are supposed to tell him, and the patient himself will be motivated to do. Both these are important. Okay. Traction approximation, we'll keep it for the afternoon lecture. Yes, so last four parts, principles, will be completing in the afternoon lecture. Yes. Okay, any doubts till now? Yes or no? Everyone should reply in the chat. કોઈ પણ doubt આમાં in the basic principle that we have talked about. Okay. Fine. Okay. So most important thing, what we learned today, even the voice and the vision specifically, both are important not just for the treatment of PNF, for all the treatments that you are going to provide as a physical therapist. Yes. જ્યારે પણ તમે કોઈ કમાન્ડ આપવાના હોય, રેઝિસ્ટેડ એક્સરસાઇઝ કરાવતા હોય, પેસિવ એક્સરસાઇઝીસ કરાવતા હોય, at that time also whenever you are giving commands, your tone will decide the response of the muscles of the patient. Yes. And the vision, visual contact, eye contact is at most important. Both things very important, not just for any treatment, for all the treatments. Yes. Fine. Have you taken the attendance?
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. So we'll keep it till here. Afternoon again, we'll move and complete the principles of PNF. Yes. By the time, hope you have a good day. Be safe.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.